Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, so, today we're going to be talking about bonsai. Um, it's really near and dear to my heart, and I, for a long time, thought that it was done a different way, but I've recently had a epiphany on how bonsai is done, and I have a couple of examples for us to look at today. The first one is this birch tree right here. So it's planted in peat moss, perlite, and vermiculite with rocks and moss on the top. Hopefully you can get a good view of this. And it's doing really well. It's a river birch. Now, some of the stuff I wanted to talk about regarding bonsai is, why is bonsai kept in regard so much higher than regular plant keeping? Why do people think keeping these little plants in these pots, this is a thuja, why do people think keeping these plants in these pots is somehow above keeping any old house plant? Why doesn't everyone have a bonsai? It's basically what I'm asking. And I think the reason has a lot of different aspects to it, but the main reason being that there's a lot of rules and wives' tales based around bonsai when you're trying to get into it. Even when I tried to get into it, I kind of thought that it was something else. I thought that I had to spend a lot of money on a certain soil, yada yada yada. Pots would be expensive, all this, which is true. If you want to, you can do that, but you can also do it a different way, which is just to do it a cost-effective way. It's kind of hard to hold, but it's a vitex tree, really beautiful cutting that I did actually with a deadwood feature. And this is just a recycled plant pot. So you could see, by seeing this stuff, you're probably thinking, well, I could do that. And that's exactly right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Anyone can keep bonsai. It's not hard. It's not some upper echelon thing. Now, certainly it can be, but it doesn't have to be. You can also just keep bonsai in a very low maintenance, easy, cost effective, affordable, and attainable way. This river birch is just from my own yard. They're constantly being distributed by birds, so this is yard dory, or like a yamadori, the wild collected. But around here, we have pretty big yards in the U.S., so a lot of trees will be sprouting up in the yard that I can just take up. I took this up 2 years ago, and I really like how this is forming. This is also from my yard, believe it or not, grown. I think it's a black pine, but it was grown on the side of a hill, as you can probably tell, and it was trampled on a lot. So for now, it's a cascade. I think eventually next time I plant it, this is obviously its training pot. Next time I plant it out, I'm going to plant it upright. I don't really like cascades. But bonsai, it's all up to you. Some people would love this as a cascade. For me, I think it'd look more interesting upright. So it's really all up to the keeper of the bonsai and how they want to present it, or really how they want to grow it. But this is all in peat moss and perlite. I don't have to worry about akadama soil drying up all the time. These things drying up in a day. I will say, when it's planted into a pretty shallow bonsai pot like this, it can be subject to drying out, but really the moss helps a lot, and the rocks, to keep that moisture in. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me that some people would think that bonsai is like harder to do. It's really not hard to do. Uh, I mean, I'd encourage everyone to try their hand at some bonsai. I mean, even if you want to go really cheap with it, you can just dig up a tree from your backyard with the ground soil and put it into a plant. And when we're talking technically, bonsai just translates to plant in a pot. So put a little tree in a pot, it's a bonsai. You know, don't overthink this whole thing. It's actually about meditation, relaxation, connecting with nature, uh, emulating Mother Nature, kind of just paying our respects, and just really just admiring the tree. Look at this root here. I really do admire that. I like that thick root. Um, it's kind of ugly looking, but I think that gives it character. A lot of the reason I'm kind of harsh with my bonsai too. You know, I don't really follow any certain time to do anything. I'll prune during the fall or whatever. But another reason I'm harsh with them is because I want to create character with the bonsai. You know, I want to have character. I'll probably, to create character in this, I might strip off the whole side of it, just like half the tree, and create a huge like deadwood feature from one half. And I think that would be cool, you know, because it's just a tiny tree. It's always going to be tiny once you put it into a bonsai pot. So it's got to have some cool character, kind of like giving the tree a story. For me, bonsai is all about storytelling. You know, you're just telling a story through these trees. Like this tells the story of the cutting that lived against all odds, because they say that cuttings this big around could never live. You know, they say do a pencil size or smaller for a cutting. It doesn't hurt to try. So I did a big old cutting. I did a lot of them actually. I did like 15, 16, 17, because I was cutting down, I was pruning this vitex tree. So I just kept taking the pruned, big old posts of them and hitting them into the ground on the side of my hill, and a lot of them rooted up. So they're all future bonsai, and that's like, it's incredible, really, when you think about um, how much that defies the rules, and how just based off that, there is no rules. So I really just wanted to simply send that message that don't hesitate to get into bonsai. It doesn't take some sort of extra thing, you know. I think it'll help you grow in keeping plants, and if anything, make you like a stronger connection with trees in general. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about bonsai. I hope you guys like this format. We're kind of just sitting here talking like I would talk to a buddy about bonsai, and admiring the little trees, and that's about it. I mean, if you have any questions about the myths of bonsai, I could honestly go on for hours and hours and hours and hours about this. Not going to bore you with that, but you can put the questions in the comments below. Please tap the like button and the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the content, and I'll get back with you soon. Be doing more nature stuff related content on the way, and most importantly, keep growing, and peace.